Hey, you guys, it's the girl Creative Solutions, and thank you guys for tuning in. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about Love is Blind and what can we learn from that crazy fiasco, season 8. And season 8 was a little bit boring, but a little bit more intense, but we can all learn something from it. And especially dealing with the new era of social media, the new era of online dating, the new era of everything is becoming faster, everything is being done on your phone, there's less social interactions. So what can we learn? So I'm gonna just drop the intro and we gonna get into it.
Love you. Oh, we in here. They call me. She love me.
Okay, you guys, now we are back. Okay, so let's just jump into it. So, if you guys don't know about Love is Blind is basically it's a social experiment, kind of, but it's people who are looking for love, and it's this couple who started this whole show. And basically, what they did was they gather up like 20 men or 20 women, and basically singles within the age ranges of 20 to 40 or even 45. Just people who are single and who are looking for love, haven't really found it out here in this crazy world. So, a lot of people want a new approach. So, they have Love is Blind, finding love without looking at somebody, but being able to listen to them, being able to interact with them, but not judging them just based on looks. Okay, so now you got to listen to the person. So this is supposed to be like you're judging the person based on their spirit, based on their intellect, based on their character, based on their characteristics. And based on that social experiment, we will find some couples that come out of the dating experience. Basically, they go in tripods, which are like little rooms, and they just be on the phones. And basically, they're having conversations with an unknown person, and they're trying to see if they're compatible. So that's what Love is Blind is. But anyway, this is season 8. We have had the past 8 seasons, and we're going to talk about season 8. So let's get into it. So, first and foremost, as we see here, this is seasons 8. So these are all the people that are here. Let's just make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So here are all of the prospects for season 8. But these are all of the people who actually match. So each one of these people are matched. And they're all couples here. So after the whole tripod session, these people said, I do to you, and the men propose, and basically they're like engaged. So, but let's get into every single situation because there's a plot twist to all of this. Okay, so the first couple we have Devin and Virginia. Yes, this is the first black couple. Okay, the only black couple for this one. But getting off of that, based on their relationship wise, Virginia's a nice, sweet girl, and Devin is a guy. He's masculine, but not really like umph. He's the more relaxed guy, chill, plays basketball. He gives good dad vibes. He's just chill. He doesn't do all that rah rah stuff. You won't catch him trying to floss or anything like that. He's just real chill. But you got Virginia. She is like a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, smart, intellectual. She likes to dress up. She's like one of those little preppy girls, right? But basically, they are a little bit different. So Virginia, Hopefully I'm saying her name right. Virginia, basically, she wanted to propose what is she wanted a prenup. She said before we even get married, I want you to sign this prenup. And she was so definite about that. She's like, we come into this marriage, which what's yours is yours, and what's mine is mine. And I think it's very important. And everybody should have prenups. And I'm like, okay, girl, you're the first girl who came on here. Well, the first woman who came on here and was talking like that. So I find that very ironic and a little bit, But anywho, I give her props for that because she's looking at the bigger picture and she want to make sure that whatever she built, she's gonna leave with it, and she wants to do everybody a favor. She just want to take care of her business. So that was a little bit ironic with her. That's the like that was her like number one thing. Like if you had like top five things, her number five, one of her list is a prenup. And then I think they did not match. They was doing really good. To me, they didn't really seem like a really honest couple, to be honest. They flowed, but it didn't really look like really real. Devin really fell in love with her and was crying in the end because he really wanted to be with her. But to me, it was a little bit forced. I mean, it was kind of natural, but not really. I didn't really see it as that. But but the reason why they broke up was because Devin didn't really want to share his thoughts about the LGBTQ community and about politics, and he didn't really want to share his opinions and voice his concerns, or just state his opinion. And she didn't like the fact that he didn't want to be more open with her so they could have deeper conversations. And I like totally agree because once you're in relationships, you should want to have deep conversations. Well, at least I hope so. I'm just saying, at least I hope so. So I guess when it was time for them to get married, she basically said no. And you can't fault a girl because the last thing you want to do is get married to somebody and then they end up having a podcast about women. And you're like, where did all of this came up? When we were dating, you didn't seem like this person. But I'm just saying, you just never know what somebody is thinking. You never know what their true intentions are. You never know what they strongly believe or their strong concerns about. The last thing you want to do is be deep in a marriage, 2, 3 years in, and all of a sudden you find out he has a secret podcast talking about politics or talking about something that's just random, and you're just looking at that like, what? The last thing you want to do is to be. So she was right because I think that your beliefs and your ideals, they all got to match up. And if you're not willing to sit down and have those deep, intrusive conversations and get to know somebody on a deep level, then maybe it's not really something that's really meant to progress. Hey May, I see you in there. Okay. So next couple up. So the next couple up we have is David and Lauren. And oh my God, this is the most toxic thing. This was the most toxic couple. But I believe that this couple was like the number one couple that truly loved them. Like that you could tell that they truly loved each other and they really, really liked each other. So it was such a bummer that they didn't end up together. I was so mad. I really wanted them to be together. Like they was like in love with each other. Like they were in sync. Like they were just talking on the pods and they was just going in. And so basically what happened? So basically Lauren, was a little bit out there. She was all up in these streets. But not like that, but she was dating somebody right before she went on Love is Blind. And basically she was doing the whole friends with benefits thing. And that only lasted for so long. So obviously that friends with benefits thing came to an end. And then she got on to Love is Blind. And lo and behold, like, who knew the universe was so small? The guy that she's dating, which is David, who likes her, one of David's family members found out about the guy that she was dating, stating that they know him and he was in the complex, and that guy tried to reach out to David. A whole bunch of foolishness. And I was just like, so she's sitting here telling him that, oh, I just slept with that guy. It was just a friends with benefits. We're over. I'm not really into him like that. So I was like, okay, so David was so concerned what everybody was thinking. He was so concerned about what people say. He was concerned about the internet. He was so concerned about his family. He was so concerned about what his sister would say. He was so concerned about what everybody thought about him that I think that he just like he was so concerned about what everybody else thought about him that he couldn't really be with Lauren, because every time he's with Lauren, he's questioning her. And the poor girl gotta go and defend herself. She gotta go and get all her friends and tell her friends that, I'm not sleeping with that guy no more. It's just me. So I really, really felt bad for Lauren. Lauren, if you're here, if you're listening, like, you deserve so much better. And then even when they went on the renewals, right? Let me hit me the renewals, the reunion. When they had the reunion, right? So when they had the reunion, one of the people, so basically when they had the reunion, right, and they were all sitting down, the host asked this question. The host asked, can you go out, right, and have like a fling one night or a week before, and then the next week find true love? And everybody said yes, they believe that. And everybody looked at David, and David believes it too. But David is like, but I had to think about what my friends would say, and this would say, like, this guy is a trip. Like, as a woman, I would not want to defend myself. The past is the past. If I have to come around and defend myself from the past after I already told you everything, and every time I see you, I got to defend myself, the relationship is over. Just forget about it. It's done. It's over. Leave me alone. That's So poor Lauren, and Lauren is gorgeous. So I really didn't understand that, but this was, if I had to pick a couple and I would like wish they would be together, it would be David and Lauren. You know, hopefully David could I guess let go of his ego, let go, and maybe just, I don't know, just put himself first and not think about what other people might say, and just not care about that, and just, he already loves Lauren. But like, what is so hard to? And when he was on the podcast, he said, I want everybody to know that it's not a joke, and you shouldn't do things like this because it affects real people online. And I'm like, dude, you have the power to change all of that. So it just got me thinking about, how social media can mess up relationships, and, just thinking about what people might say and what people might think may affect you to go out and do actions that you want in the world, because you're so boggled down by what others may say that you don't even try. Like, he didn't even try in this relationship. And that's just sad that. But anyway, we move on. So that was this couple right here. I truly wish they would get back together, but that's just me. All right, the next couple we have here is Ben and Sarah. And I think Ben and Sarah, they broke up for the same things that the first couple, the black couple, broke up for, Devin and Virginia. So what's so sad is their families were all there. the mother, the dad, her mother, her dad, and the families, they all thought that they were gonna get married. Like they really thought that they were. I felt bad. The whole family was there. They were so happy, and it was just so sad that they didn't get married. And the dad was like, "I don't even know what's wrong. Are you ready? I thought they were gonna do it." And she said no, and she broke up with him for the same things. He did not want to share or have deep conversations. It seemed like it's like fucking it's surface level. Like, how is a relationship supposed to grow if we can't have deep, honest conversations? And I can't challenge you on, the things that you say or your opinions. I can't challenge you on any of that. I can't challenge you on your belief system. So if we're not in sync and I can't challenge you and you can't challenge me, like, how are we supposed to be in cohesive? How are we supposed to build things together if I can't be real with you? You know? So to me, it's like, do these men do men want a partner in life, or do they want a concubine? Do they want somebody just to like carry around to have a trophy wife? Or do they want like a real intellectual, smart partner, somebody who's going to challenge you, somebody who's going to ask you these questions, make you see things from different perspective? It got me thinking, like, if it was just all surface level, then everything would be a Cinderella story, but it's not. As we come in age and as we get into AI and as we get into all these things, we understand that people can go out and get cosmetic surgery, today or tomorrow, and they could change the way they look. Today they could be looking like this. The next 2 months they could be looking like a total different person. So we need to do more. It's more than just what looks to meet the eyes of the soul. It has to be more. Like, you need to find out more about the person. You need to know them on a very deep level. Surface is not gonna cut it anymore nowadays. And that's all I have to say on that one. But yeah, this one, I don't know. They look like a cute couple, but I don't know. So I think Sarah was right to say no, because she wanted somebody who she could have deep conversations with, somebody who she really knows and who she could really trust. All right, next is Daniel and Taylor. So this was the one couple that actually got married and they're still together. So kudos to them. They came on the show, they knew what they wanted. They fell in love with each other. I think the only drawback for this one is that I think one of these couples got mad because they found out that the guy that they were dating actually found out what they look like. And I think it was through Instagram or something. And one of the women one of them got mad and was like, "You knew what I look like." And I think it was Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. I think she was mad at Daniel because Daniel knew what she looked like, and that was like a whole big fiasco. But I guess they overcame that. And because you're not supposed to find out what somebody looks like until you pick them in the pods. You're supposed to pick them just based on what you hear and based on their personality and the questions that you ask them. So if you know what they look like, you're cheating. It's not really Love is Blind. So that was one of the things that happened during the show. But they're together now, so I just wish them the best. And not final but not least, we have Joey and Monica. So this is the last match. And for this match, I don't know. They wasn't really like familiar or anything like that. They didn't really she didn't feel ready, and he was okay with it. But I believe that they are still dating. They're just not married. because she's not ready. And I understand that's really fast to get married to somebody like right away. She just didn't seem like she was ready. So yeah, they didn't get married. He was crying or whatnot, and she was too. But yeah, that's what happened there. All right, let's go back. But yeah, that's all the couples. But if we were to really go back, the one person that cried the most, I felt like, was Devin. Devin was like heartbroken, so heartbroken. I think he was the worst heartbreak out of everybody. And who else? Devin and Lauren. I say Lauren because Lauren had to defend herself, you know? She was like being broadcasted as like, as like a fun girl, some girl who went out there and, slept with some guy and then finally found love, and she was actually being shamed for it. So I believe both of them. But yeah, there you guys have it. Why I gotta talk. But there you guys have it. That was Love Is Blind. Yeah, that was everybody. Um, the next season won't be until next year. So, what can we learn from this? Well, basically, the number one thing that we can learn is when you're getting to know somebody, especially when you're in your late 20s and 30s, it's so important to get to know somebody on all type of levels, on a deep emotional level, intellectual level, have deep conversations, understand the person, how they think, what they feel strongly about. Those are things that's really really important. So that's number one, and I'm so happy for all these women that walked away, you know on their marriage day or their bride day. They all walked away and they stand on business. They said no. They said, if we don't have a good cohesive relationship where I feel like I know you, I'm not saying yes. So I say the women did well. I'm so proud of all the women on the show. And I really like Virginia and how she came out here. She was like, listen, prenups matter. So Virginia, you was the only woman who came on the show and was like, listen, we got to do a prenup. Like, so I found that really interesting. So, yeah, all the ladies rocked on this show. I liked all of them. Um, for the men, the only questions I have is like, do you or do you not want a partner in life, somebody who you can understand their opinions, their strong beliefs, how they think, the way they operate, what's important to them? Do those things really matter, or is it just you just want somebody who's going to be there, cook food, be on candy, or having an actual partnership, does that really matter? So those were the questions. That's one question I have out there for the men, right? And the next one I have is like, can you still find love even though you used to be friends with benefits? And that was a long time of the past and you let that go, but that person from the past, you know how your exes are. They see you on TV, they see you blowing up, doing your thing, dating somebody new. Of course, they're jealous. Of course, they want to come back. Of course, they got all of these things they want to say to you. Of course, they want to reach out, to your new boyfriend and their family. Of course, they want to figure out where he work out, what's this. Of course, they want to dismantle that. How could you do better and get away? So, so it's like, do we allow our past to come back and trigger us? Do we allow our past to come back and try to relive and mess up what we're trying to do in the future? So those were some questions too we got to think about, you know. I don't know. Like, could she have gotten away with that? What if she had blocked him? Even if she had blocked him, he already seen her on TV. So he already had a plot. I don't know. But those are some things that we got to think about, especially like we are on the screen, we're in the eye, people know us, they see us, improving on our lives. You know, we're just gaining traction and stuff. Those are some things we got to think about. Yeah, because we don't want the past to come drag us back down to hell. That's not where we try to go. We try to get up there to, vibrate higher, move beyond. But yeah, this is your girl Creative Solutions. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. This was my recap of Love is Blind season 8. Can't wait till season 9. And yeah, all the women did wonderful this season. I am truly astonished. I'm actually really happy. Um so anyway, we about to headway out. And before we about to headway out, it is the springtime, so you guys take advantage of going outside, getting some sun. You know, spring is all about rebirth and transformation. And yeah, it's your girl Creative Solutions. Before I leave, I'm gonna just drop a video. So I don't know, like, where do we get this feeling from? Where we're not good enough, we don't measure up. I don't know where we get this from, cause every time we wake up in the morning, we are at homostasis, and we are connected to the universe, and we're feeling really good, right? Would you guys admit that? When you first wake up, your body is settled, you're feeling nice, you're at homostasis, you're not thinking intrusive thoughts, you're not boggled down with what's going to happen or your problems, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? And it kind of reminded me of the song by Beyonce, right? And it goes a little something like this, right? I woke up flawless, post up, flawless, right around in that flawless, flossing on that flawless. This diamond's flawless, my diamond flawless. This rock flawless, my rock flawless. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless, ladies. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless, ladies. We flawless. Say I look good tonight. Goddamn, goddamn, goddamn.
Love you.